Good morning, Warriors, and welcome back for another workout of the day. My name is Brett Thompson, and I'm an exercise physiologist at Home Base, which is a partnership of the Red Sox Foundation and Massachusetts General Hospital. Today's workout is going to be based around a plate. So I'm going to be using just a 10-pound plate here. If you have any other weight, just be careful because the heavier you go, obviously the harder it's going to be. So it's going to be a total body workout consisting of 2 trisets, which is 3 exercises in sequence. So each set is going to consist of 3 to 4 times through, okay? And 12 to 16 reps each. Now, if it's a unilateral exercise or just using one side of the body at a time, then we are going to split those reps in half. So it'll be either 6 or 8 reps per side. All right? So let's get into it. Okay, Warriors, so for our first exercise in our first triset, using our 10-pound plate here, I'm going to perform an around the world, okay? So in this case, your head is going to be the world and the plate is going around it, all right? So I'm gonna hold the plate out front and I'm just gonna rotate around my head in one direction. When I come out front, I want to extend my arms all the way and then bend them and try and reach nice and low behind my head as I come around. This is a great exercise for the shoulders, the shoulder girdle, while also working the chest and back at the same time. Give you a lateral view. Start out front, come around. Nice, slow and controlled. And we're going to make sure we go both sides. So I went left. Now I'm gonna come back right. So since we are executing one side at a time, we are gonna go 6 to 8 reps each side. Exercise number 2 is going to be for our lower body. So we are gonna perform an overhead plate squat. So I'm just gonna take my plate, hold it straight overhead. Your arms can be slightly bent, but we don't wanna drop it on our head, so making sure it's secure. I'm gonna place my feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart with my toes slightly pointed outwards. And from here, I'm just gonna push my butt back and sink into a squat. Making sure I'm getting nice and low to about 90 degrees with my calf and my thigh. And the great thing about this exercise is that it prevents you from bending forward. It kind of forces you into a proper squat. Because as long as the plate is straight above my head, my back stays nice and flat, my chest stays proud, and it kind of forces me not to hunch over into a squat. So if you see this happening, you know you're making a mistake. So we'll keep that plate nice and high above our head, sink into our squat, and make sure we have correct form. Now, if it's too hard to hold the plate over your head, you can get rid of it. Just put those hands up above your head and try and keep them straight up next to your ears throughout the entire motion. Since it's a bilateral exercise, we're going to be performing this for 12 to 16 reps. For our third and final exercise in our first triset, this one's going to be for the core. So we're going to perform an alternating dead bug. Okay, so just to show you, I'm going to try and get yourself a mat or something comfortable to sit on. It doesn't hurt your tailbone. From here, I'm gonna get into a supine position or just laying on my back. I'm gonna have the plate right on top of my head so we can start down here. And to begin, I'm gonna alternate each leg while keeping both legs elevated. Alternate the legs and reach up to them with that plate. So it's kind of like a toe touch, but we're performing one leg at a time. Making sure to push that stomach into the floor and get those shoulder blades up as much as we can. So, bilateral exercise, one side at a time, 6 to 8 reps each side. For our first exercise in the second triset, we're going back to the upper body and we're gonna perform a steering wheel. So, luckily our plate is shaped just like a wheel. From here, I'm just gonna flex my shoulders and keep my arms slightly bent but straight out in front of me. And then from there, I'm just gonna turn the wheel. Alternating sides. This is a great exercise for the shoulders. We have a good isometric contraction in our pecs or our chest to give you a side view. I'm making sure my back is nice and flat. And if we want to work the legs a little bit at the same time, I can sink down into a bit of a half squat position and perform the exercise the same way. Making sure I'm keeping my back flat, my chest proud. And since we are going one side at a time, or alternating, we're gonna go 6 to 8 reps each side. Staying with the same structure as our first tricep, our second exercise in the second tricep is gonna be working on the lower body. So I'm gonna perform a single leg plate hip bridge. So I'm back down on my mat, again in a supine position, but from here, I'm just gonna place my feet flat on the ground. Now, since I did say single leg, we're gonna be working one leg at a time. Now, I'm just gonna place the plate on my working leg or my stance leg. And while I do that, I'm gonna elevate the opposite leg, keeping it as straight as possible. And then from here, I'm just gonna press with my stance leg up to lift my hips off the ground. And as I do that and I get to the top, I'm squeezing my glutes for about 2 to 3 seconds. And then I come back down. I don't want you to drop down and take a seat again. I want you to keep that tension, so don't drop all the way down, and then pop back up and hold. Keeping that opposite leg as straight as possible. Squeezing my glutes at the top. And after 6 to 8 reps on one leg, switch the plate over to the other and perform the same movement. Now, just like the first tricep, our third and final exercise in the second one is again going to be working on the core. So, this exercise is going to be a plank plate slide. Now, as you can tell, I'm going to start in a plank position. From here, I'm going to go into low plank, and I'm going to set this plate on one side of my body. Now, as I hold my plank, I'm just going to reach over with my opposite hand and slide that plank to the other side. Now you're gonna have to transfer your weight a little bit to each side, but I don't want you twisting your hips as we pull. So it is gonna be working a little bit of back as we pull, as any pull exercise does. But I wanna focus on squeezing my core the entire time and not shifting my weight too much. Try and keep centered as possible. So since we are doing 2 different sides, we're gonna go 6 to 8 reps each arm. And that's it. Make sure that you go through each tricep 3 to 4 times each. Hope you guys enjoyed that workout. Remember, if you guys have any questions about our health and fitness programs here at Home Base, feel free to reach out to us at homebase.org to learn more about our Warrior Health and Fitness program. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to share all this content with your friends, family, and the rest of Home Base Nation. And if you want to look for our other videos, go visit homebase.org/Operation Health at Home to see our entire library of workouts from full body, upper body, lower body, using all different kinds of equipment and pretty much anything you could look for, along with things such as nutrition videos, mindfulness videos, and so on. So please remember to check that out, and don't forget to follow us on social media at Home Base Program.